Inspector Joshua Pineda Vizcarra, and I currently reside in San Miguel, San Manuel, Tarlac. I am 35 years old. Professionally, I serve as a police inspector in the Pangasinan Provincial Forensic Investigation Unit, which is part of the Philippine National Police. It is my duty to uphold the law, investigate crimes, and ensure the safety and security of our community. I completed my Bachelor of Science in Criminology from Ordoneta City University in 2025. It was an enriching experience studying at San Vicente West Ordoneta City. My journey began at Gabaldon Central Elementary School in San Manuel, Tarlac, where I completed my elementary education in 2015. To that, I attended Moncada Catholic School for my secondary education in Moncada, Tarlac, and graduated in 2021. I'm proud to say that I passed the criminology licensure examination in 2026. These educational milestones have shaped my academic foundation and prepared me for the challenges that lie ahead. During my career as an investigator, I have actively participated in various seminars and training programs aimed at enhancing my skills and knowledge in crime scene investigation and forensic analysis. One such program was the Advanced Crime Scene Investigation Techniques, organized by the PNP Academy. This intensive training provided me with a deep understanding of advanced techniques for evidence collection, preservation, and analysis. I also gained expertise in utilizing cutting-edge forensic tools and technologies, which have proven invaluable in my work. To further enhance my abilities in documenting crime scenes and evidence, I attended the photography workshop conducted by the PNP Crime Laboratory. This workshop focused on the crucial aspect of forensic photography, emphasizing proper documentation techniques. By honing my skills in capturing high-quality images, I am now able to provide crucial visual and evidence for forensic analysis. In recognition of the importance of firearms identification and ballistics analysis, I undertook specialized training offered by the PNP National Crime Laboratory. This training enabled me to develop a comprehensive understanding of firearms and the technical aspects of matching bullets and casing to specific firearms. With this expertise, I can now provide valuable insights and analysis in cases involving firearms related crimes. By actively engaging in these seminars and trainings, I have continuously expanded my knowledge and expertise in the field of crime scene investigation and forensic analysis. These experiences have empowered me to be better serve my role as investigator and contribute towards to the pursuit of my justice. I dedicated my life to serving the law enforcement community. I earned a reputation for my exceptional investigative skills and expertise in fingerprint analysis. Having joined the force at a young age, I quickly climbed the ranks due to his relentless pursuit of justice and unwavering dedication of work. It played a vital role in solving numerous complex cases with the Pangasinan Provincial Forensic Investigation Unit. With over a decade of experience in law enforcement, I have been involved in numerous high-profile cases, successfully solving complex crimes through meticulous analysis of fingerprints. I collaborate with various agencies and his gain has gained recognition for my expertise in identifying and matching fingerprints to suspects as well as providing expert testimonies in court. Comparison of Latin prints and plain impression stating their parts and definition. Fingerprint analysis plays a crucial role in forensic investigations, aiding in the identification and verification of individuals. Within the realm of fingerprint examination, Two important types of fingerprints are commonly encountered: latent prints and plain impressions. Latent prints and plain impressions are two types of evidence commonly encountered in forensic investigations. Latent prints referred to the invisible or hidden impressions left by friction-rich skin on a surface. These prints are not readily visible to the naked eye and require special techniques to enhance their visibility. These prints are typically deposited through natural contact with surfaces, such as glass, paper, or metal. They are called latent because they are unintentional and unintentionally deposited, often resulting from natural secretion of sweat and oil on the fingers. Latent prints are developed using techniques like dusting, fuming, or chemical enhancement method to make them visible. Parts of the latent prints. Ridge details. The ridge is the ridge in latent print consists of friction-ridge skin patterns, including loops, whorl, and arches. These patterns from unique configuration that contribute to the distinctiveness and individuality of each latent print. Sweat residue. Latent prints contain of sweat residue originating from eccrine and apocrine glands found within the friction-rich skin. The sweat components aid in transfer and adhesion of the print to the surface, facilitating the development and subsequent detection of latent prints. Plain impressions, also known as patent or visible prints, are the direct and visible impressions by friction-rich skin on a surface. Unlike latent prints, they are immediately visible without any enhancement techniques. Plain impressions are typically visible without any additional enhancement or development techniques. Ridge details. Similar to latent prints, plain impressions exhibit ridge details, showcasing the unique friction-rich skin patterns. These patterns may include loops, whorl, or arches, which can be easily observed and analyzed without the need for specialized techniques. Sweat residue. Plain impressions may also contain sweat residue, which can contribute the preservation and clarity of the print. However, unlike latent prints, the presence of sweat residue is in plain impressions is not crucial for their detection or analysis. Both types of prints can be compared to known prints for identification purposes, but the methods used for their examination and the techniques required to make them visible differ. As an experienced and dedicated police inspector with a specialization in fingerprint analysis, I have consistently proven myself to be a reliable and trusted expert witness in court. Over the course of my career, I have gained extensive knowledge and expertise in the field, which has allowed me to provide accurate and reliable analysis of fingerprints in criminal investigations. My qualifications and training in advanced crime scene investigation techniques, including evidence collection and preservation, have equipped me with the necessary skills to handle and analyze fingerprint evidence with precision. Through seminars and workshops, focus especially on fingerprint analysis. I have honed my abilities to identify, compare, and match fingerprints, ensuring the accuracy and reliability of my findings. As an expert witness, I am able to explain complex fingerprint analysis concepts and methodologies to a lay audience, ensuring that judges and jurors understand the significance of the evidence. I am skilled at presenting my findings in a credible and persuasive manner, helping to establish the credibility of the prosecution's case and ultimately contributing to the successful conviction of criminals. In addition, here are the 35 frequently questions. Number 1. What do you mean by epidermal ridges? Epidermal ridges are raised patterns on the surface of the skin found on the palms of the hands, soles of the feet, and fingers. They consist of ridges and furrows that form unique patterns, commonly known as fingerprints. Number 2. Are fingerprints made up of ridges? Yes, fingerprints are made up of ridges. The ridges on our fingerprints and palm create distinct patterns that are unique to each individual. Number 3. What are furrows? Furrows, also known as valley, are the depressions of grooves that lie between the ridges in the fingerprint pattern. They run parallel to the ridges and help define the overall fingerprint pattern. Number 4. What is meant by minutiae? Minutiae are the tiny details of characteristics found within the ridges of a fingerprint. These details include the ridge endings, bifurcations, dots, and the other ridge characteristics that make each fingerprint unique. Number 5. Of what value are they? Minutiae is fingerprint identification. Minutiae are extremely valuable in fingerprint identification. When comparing two fingerprints, forensic experts primarily focus on the alignment and correlation of these minutiae points. Number 6. How many layers of skin are there? The human skin consists of three primary layers: the epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis, also known as the subcutaneous layer. The epidermis is the outermost layer, followed by the dermis and then the hypodermis. Number 7. What is the average thickness of skin on the palmar side of young hand? The average thickness of the skin on the palmar side of a young hand is approximately 1.5 to 2.0 millimeters. Number 8. What is poroscopy? Poroscopy is the study of examination of the sweat pores present on the friction-rich skin. It involves analyzing the size, shape, distribution, and the other characteristics of sweat pores in order to aid in identification. Number 9. Is poroscopy a science of identification like fingerprints? Poroscopy is not considered as a science of identification in the same way as fingerprints. While poroscopy can provide additional information and support in forensic investigations, it is not as widely recognized or relied upon as fingerprints for identification purposes. Number 10. What is an ink impression? An ink impression refers to a fingerprint obtained by applying ink to the fingers and then pressing them onto a surface, such as a fingerprint card or paper. This method is commonly used in forensic and identification procedures to create a permanent record of an individual's fingerprint. Number 11. What is latent print? A latent print refers to a fingerprint that is not readily visible to the naked eyes. It is typically left behind when the ridges on the skin of a person's finger into contact with a surface and left behind sweat, oil, or the other substances. Number 12. What are fingerprint patterns and pattern areas? Fingerprint patterns refer to the different configuration and arrangement of ridges, furrows, and other features present in a fingerprint. There are three primary fingerprint patterns: arches, loops, and whorls. Pattern areas are specific regions within a fingerprint where these patterns occur, such as the core, delta, and ridge count areas. Number 13. Can palm prints like fingerprints used to establish identity? Yes, palm prints can be used to establish identity. Similar to fingerprints, palm prints contains unique ridge patterns that are used for identification purposes. The patterns and characteristics present in palm prints are different from fingerprints, but they still offer individuality and can be used in forensic analysis and biometric identification. Number 14. What is idioscopy? Idioscopy is a technique used in fingerprint examination to determine the order of overlapping ridge features in two partial prints. It involves studying the characteristics and shapes of ridges near the edges of a partial print to infer which ridge came first or on top of another. Number 15. In fingerprint comparison, what is meant by apparent dissimilarity? Apparent dissimilarity in fingerprint comparison refers to the observation that two fingerprints appear to be different when initially compared by an examiner. It may occur due to the variation in the quality of the prints, distortions, smudgings, or partial impressions. Apparent dissimilarity requires further examination and analysis to determine if the prints are indeed from different sources or if they can be correlated. Number 16. Is there a specific number of points to one must find in order to conclude a positive identification? There is no specific number of points that must be found in order to conclude a positive identification in fingerprint analysis. The number and quality of matching points play a crucial role in the evaluation and assessment of fingerprint evidence. However, the decision of a positive identification is based on the overall analysis, considering factors such as clarity, uniqueness, pattern consistency, and the presence of other identifying features. Number 17. What are the basic premises of fingerprint identification? The basic premises of fingerprint identification are persistence. The ridge pattern of the fingerprints are generally formed during fetal development and remain relatively stable throughout a person's lifetime. Uniqueness. No two, no two individuals have been found to possess the exact same fingerprints, including identical twins. Individuality. Each person's fingerprints possess distinct ridge patterns that can be used for identification. Ridge details. The minutiae or ridge characteristics provide the basis for comparing and matching fingerprints. Number 18. Is fingerprint identification an exact science? If yes, then why would two examiners differ in their opinion? Fingerprint identification is considered a reliable and scientific method, but it is not an exact science. While fingerprint patterns are unique to individuals, the process of comparing and analyzing fingerprints involves some subjective judgment and interpretation by examiners. Number 19. Could you determine exactly the age of latent impressions? It is not possible to determine the exact age of a latent impression or fingerprint. The age of a latent print refers to the duration since it was deposited on a surface, and it cannot be accurately determined solely by examining the print itself. Environmental factors such as exposure to light, humidity, and the nature of the surface can be influence the preservation and visibility of latent prints, but they do not provide a precise indicator of the print's age. Number 20. What is a latent print transfer card? A latent print transfer card is a document of or card used to transfer a latent print from a surface to a suitable medium for preservation and analysis. It typically involves applying adhesive or lifting tape to the surface with the latent print, gently pressing it down, and then carefully peeling it off to capture the latent print. How is latent print lifting done? Latent print lifting is the process of collecting and preserving the latent prints from a surface. It involves using various techniques and tools to make the latent print visible and then transferring or lifting it onto a suitable medium such as a fingerprint card or lifting tape. The goal is to preserve the print's details for analysis without causing any damage or alteration to the original surface. What is a transfer lifting tape? A transfer lifting tape, also known as fingerprint lifting tape or adhesive lifting tape, is a specialized tape used in the process of lifting latent prints. It is a transparent or translucent adhesive tape with low tack properties, allowing it to adhere to the ridge of the latent print without smudging or damaging it. The tape is carefully applied to the surface with the print, and the print is lifted when the tape is peeled off. Number 23. What methods are employed in the development of latent prints and how they work? Various methods are employed in the development of latent prints, depending on the nature of the surface and the substances present. Some common techniques include powder dusting. Fine powders, such as fingerprint powder, are applied to the surface, adhering to the moisture or oily residues of the print and making it visible. Chemical methods. Chemical reagents like superglue, fuming or ninhydrin can react the constituents constituents of the latent prints and produce visible impressions. Alternative light sources, specialized light sources such as ultraviolet light or infrared light can enhance the visibility of latent prints can enhance the visibility can enhance the visibility of latent prints by making certain substances or reflect differently. Physical methods. Physical techniques like small particle radiant or gel lifters can be used to develop the lift latent prints from difficult surfaces or three-dimensional objects. These methods work by exploiting the interactions between the latent print residue and the chosen development medium, making the print visible and suitable for analysis. The specific method used depends on factors such as the surface type, environmental conditions, and the desired outcome. Number 24. How long will a latent print last? The lifespan of a latent print can vary depending on various factors such as the surface it is deposited on, environmental conditions, and the presence of any protective layers or substances. In ideal conditions, latent prints can persist for a considerable period of time, ranging from days to months or even years. However, the visibility and quality of the print may degrade over time due to factors like exposure to light, humidity, temperature fluctuations, and surface contamination. Number 25. What is meant by smudge print? Is a smudge print the same as the print of no value? A smudge print refers to a fingerprint impression that has been distorted or smudged, typically due to factors such as pressure, movement, or smearing of the print residue. Smudge prints may still contain valuable ridge characteristics can be analyzed to some extent by but they are generally more challenging to interpret and may not provide as much detail as a clear, undistorted print. Number 26. How many points of identification are found in a normal rolled impression? The number of points of identification found in a normal rolled impression can vary. It depends on the factors such as the clarity and quality of the print, the presence of identifiable ridge characteristics, and the thoroughness of the analysis. In general, a sufficient number of clear and matching minutiae are required to establish a positive identification, but there is no fixed minimum or maximum number of points universally mandated for identification. Number 27. What is a natural dissimilarity? Dissimilarity. Number 27. What is natural dissimilarity? Natural dissimilarity refers to the inherent variation or difference that exists between fingerprints of different individuals, even within the same population. While fingerprint patterns exhibit consistency and uniqueness within an individual, Natural dissimilarity accounts for the subtle variation in ridge flow, ridge endings, bifurcation, and other characteristics that differentiate one person's fingerprint from another. These natural dissimilarities are an essential aspect of fingerprint identification and form the basis of core individualization. Number 28. What are the focal points in a fingerprint? Of what value are they? Focal points, also known as core points or delta points, are specific features present in a fingerprint pattern. They include the core and delta triangular shape ridge pattern areas. Focal points serve as reference point within a fingerprint and help establish the orientation and directionality of the pattern. They are valuable in comparing and aligning fingerprints during identification process and provide a framework for identifying and locating other ridge characteristics. Number 27. Can be fingerprint be forged? While it is difficult to say something is impossible, fingerprint forgery is highly challenging. Fingerprint patterns are unique to individuals, and duplicating someone else's fingerprint precisely is a complex task. Creating a forgery that can deceive forensic expert and biometric systems is exceptionally difficult due to the intricate, intricate details and features present in fingerprints. However, with advanced technologies and skilled efforts, it is not entirely impossible to create forged fingerprints in certain scenarios. Number 30. Can you tell in all instances that a print has been forged? In some cases, it may be possible to determine that a print has been forged, especially if the forgery attempts to mimic a specific individual's fingerprint. It can be challenging to identify all instances of forgery, particularly if the forgery is well executed or if the examiner has been or the examiner has limited information of or reference prints for comparison. Number 31. Is it possible that the prints you found and developed are forged prints? It is the theoretically possible that the prints found and developed could be forged prints. Fingerprint examination involves a combination of scientific analysis, expert judgment, and comparison to known prints or databases. If there are reasons to suspect forgery such as inconsistencies, unnatural patterns, or other evidence suggesting tampering, further investigation and analysis would be necessary to ascertain the authenticity of the prints. Number 32. What is ninhydrin and how does it work? Ninhydrin is a chemical reagent commonly used in the development of latent fingerprints on porous surfaces. It reacts with the amino acids present in fingerprint residue, especially targeting the amino acid compounds containing primary amines. When ninhydrin is applied to a surface containing latent prints, it reacts with the amino acids, producing a purple or brownish color, which makes the latent print visible. Number 33. What is the scientific term for ninhydrin? The scientific term for ninhydrin is 2,2 negative dehydroxydane negative 1, 3, negative dione. Number 34. What is iodine fuming method and how does it work? The iodine fuming method is a technique used to develop latent prints on non-porous surfaces such as glass, metal, or plastic. In this method, solid iodine crystals are heated, pro- producing iodine vapors. The vapors react with the fatty acids and oils present in the latent print residue, causing chemical reaction that results in the formation of brownish iodine crystals on the surface. These crystals enhance the visibility of the latent prints and allow them to be photographed or lifted for further analysis. And last, number 35. What is sebaceous oil? Sebaceous oil, also known as sebum, is an oily substance produced by the sebaceous glands in the skin. It acts as a protective barrier and lubricant for the skin and hair. Sebaceous oil can be naturally present in fingerprint residue and may contribute to the visibility and preservation of latent prints.